guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and we are here for another stage of the Gathering of the Gods of Destruction event. This is the current hardest, stage in Dokkan, I would argue. Well, at least, all of the different stages here in this God of Destruction event, right? As far as which stage is actually the most difficult, I think there's a clear winner right now, and that is the fight against, I believe his name is Moscow. That is the robot God of Destruction. I think that's the God of Destruction of Universe 3. He has a AoE super attack that hits all three characters, which makes like a no-item attempt on that very, very brutally difficult. But we were able to get the no-item run done for this stage against IWAN. This is before I had like LRUI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta like fully like rainbowed and was like really working on them and stuff like that, right? So that's the thing. This stage, while tough without those units, IWAN is STR. LRUI Goku is AGL, and he's by far and away the best unit in the game. Like, if you have, like, this stage is a joke, honestly, to no item, I would assume, with that LRUI Goku, right? Because there's several different ways you could probably build your team to do this. AGL LR Gohan would be fantastic in here. With type advantage and his stacking, just running like a Kamehameha / Super AGL team, and you are just flat out not really going to have, I think, many difficulties just based solely alone off of the power that Super AGL has, right? Because Super AGL would struggle in some, like Extreme Super Battle Road, the Super AGL stage, because you have all these units that like stack and get stronger as time goes on and various things. But like, those stages are like brutal difficulty right away. Now, these stages are also brutal difficulty, but they're designed in such a way where you're not getting super attacked by 6 different enemies all over the place. You're only getting super attacked by, really like one opponent. I believe, I want to say Catella, the Universe 4 God of Destruction, I think he could can he super attack twice? He might be able to super attack twice per turn. I can't remember. I think he might have been able to, right? But, this God of Destruction right here, because he's STR, you can sort of just, rock it with like full AGL units, and a lot of them are able to work pretty good, right? Now, there's a couple of units, of course, that are going to be good, like, universally in this event. Tech Ultimate Gohan, with his greatly stacking and his guard, becomes ridiculously powerful in here. Really, as long as Tech Ultimate Gohan doesn't get hit too many times before he supers the first turn, this is what it turns into. I mean, there you go. So, in this run, Tech Ultimate Gohan, unless he gets super attacked, it's not even going to take damage. Now, I'm also using Pikkon here. Pikkon is good for a variety of reasons. He does have his Ghost Usher active skill, although I believe you guys will see why, but I choose not to use it at a certain point. The Ghost Usher active skill, which again serves as a Ghost Usher, just completely wipes away the enemy turns. With 1 Rainbow Orb, Pikkon has the ability to dodge and basically an auto super attack. And then with 3 type orbs, Pikkon is functioning as a support type unit for the entire rotation. Also, super, super good. So Pikkon, right, is definitely going to be able to handle business in here very well. Sort of keeping the team functioning really good. Obviously, we have Tech Caulifla, who, in this entire event, like, Tech Caulifla is so big because she cannot be hit. So for, like, no-item runs, and especially, like, teams like this where we have, like, stacking characters, we're using AGL Super Vegito, right, for his, ridiculous damage reduction against normal attacks. We should be good. Now, the STR Goku and Vegeta, the thing about them is that they are going to be fine defensively, typically, if they can, as long as they get super attacked at least once first, or hopefully, luckily twice. Like, if they double super attack, they're usually good on any given turn, because their defense is high enough, plus they have damage reduction, so they're really not going to be too big of an issue. Obviously, we know a lot of these units, such as AGL, Vegeta. Okay, I believe this is the point, by the way, where I decide, I think, this is where I start to take advantage of, there's a little bit of an exploit with STR Goku and Vegeta, right? Where when you fuse with them, you transform into Vegito, right? You do the whole, animation, you heal. Vegito's 10-turn Scouter effect then activates, right? So you could see where the enemy is super attacking for 10 turns. But that includes that turn. So what happens is you transform into Super Vegito, boom, we see where the enemy is going to super attack right there in the middle slot, and then what you can do is you can actually reset, because STR Vegito is going to take about 45k from normal attacks after he super attacks, because STR Vegito, I believe, raises attack and defense on super attack. After he supers, he's taking 45k. But the Goku and Vegeta, you know, with their damage reduction, they actually are typically good from normal attacks. So they're not really at as much of a risk as the actual transformed Super Vegito is, right? Super Vegito is great if we want like burst damage at, you know, towards the end of the event. But by doing it this way, we were able to see exactly where the super attacks are going to land. Now, we're still going to take a good amount of damage right here. Because of the fact that AGL Vegeta, I believe he's not fully built up. And remember that the AGL Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, you know, does get a defensive buff as well when he super attacks. The other thing I should point out is I don't think he's fully built up. Yeah, his links, I'm looking at it. So Super Saiyan is level 1. I think Saiyan Warrior Race link level 2. You know, he has a link level 3, link level 3, link level 2, link level 3, link level 5. So my Vegeta could have been a lot more highly link leveled, which would have allowed us to, you know, do more damage, just generally function a little bit better. So that is another important thing to sort of keep in mind, is that Vegeta wasn't even fully done. It's, you know, there's so many characters to link level in this game that it's difficult to sort of keep up with them all, right? Like, you know, I didn't realize that this Vegeta was going to be, you know, like a crucial cog in getting this no item done. By the way, again, this would be very easy to no item. Super, super easy if we had LRUI Goku on here, right? Like, if you run LRUI Goku as your leader, or you have 2 of him, I mean, you don't even need 2 of them, really. You just run AGL LR Gohan as your lead, and then you just run, really, a lot of the powerful Super AGL units. You're probably going to be good. You know, get Tech Khalifa on here. So, Pikkon, on this turn, right, can utilize his Ghost Usher effect, and we don't have to worry about taking any damage. But because of the Scouter effect by AGL Super Vegito, so the Scouter effect that's going on right now is from AGL Super Vegito being below 40% HP, so we see where the enemy super attack is. So because Tech Khalifa has a 100% chance to dodge, I did not even need to use Pikkon's Ghost Usher ability, right? Didn't even have to do it. So I was able to preserve it. Now, the problem with Pikkon's Ghost Usher is it is pretty heavily restricted. I believe the enemy does have to have, I think, over 50% HP in order for the active skill to be utilized. So I don't use it here, but I don't believe I ever even am able to. Like, when Pikkon returns, it's not able to be used. Let me actually quickly double check. I just want to double check the restriction. I believe it's because the enemy has to be above 50% HP, but let me just confirm that that is the reason, right? Yeah, so Ghost Usher can be activated when facing only one enemy whose HP is 50% or more, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. So here we go. At this point, your boy just begins the cheese mechanic. I believe we pretty much do this, I think, like every turn, like for the rest of the fight, to just see where the super attacks are, and then we're just completely able to, you know, rearrange, you know, the characters like we see fit. We don't have to worry about getting, you know, cream pied by any enemy super attacks or anything like that, right? So, like, right here, IWAN is not even going to super attack. Now, we can also transform with Ultimate Gohan at this point. I believe I choose not to transform with Ultimate Gohan, because remember, you know, the greatly defensive stacks are really big. And after he transforms into Ultimate Gohan, his damage dealing goes way up and he gains, like, shocking speed, which is helpful. But he does lose his greatly stacking abilities, right? I believe he raises attack for 1 turn, and then he's got the medium chance to stun as Ultimate Gohan. So I want to preserve and continue the greatly stacking. Although the other thing that does happen is Ultimate Gohan does have higher start of turn attack and defensive buffs as well, right? But I believe I choose to just continue to greatly stack and sort of move through the events, right? Because again, like, I want to be able to get to a point where Gohan will barely even be touched by IWAN super attacks, right? That is something that is, I would say, relatively important. And then it's just a matter from this point on of sort of like judging which characters I want to get maybe like same type orbs with to heal, or, you know, make sure all these characters are able to super attack like constantly at will. Like, we need to be able to make sure that we're, you know, just sort of able to keep this rhythm going. Because the other thing too that can be a bit troublesome would be if we get our health too high and get above 70%, then we lose this sort of advantage, this exploit, I guess you could call it, with Goku and Vegeta, where we could see every single turn where IWAN is going to super attack. Because honestly, like, I would argue this is like an exploit at this point. You know, this is very similar. Back in the day, you used to be able to sort of like start the turn. Like, so like we would finish the turn, you'd go through it, and then if an enemy super attack is going to happen that's going to kill you, you could quickly reset the app, and it would take you back to the start of turn, and then you could just move whatever character could survive in front of the super attack, right? Well, a while back, they updated that. So as soon as, like, the final orbs are selected, when you close the app and then restart it, it just restarts you at the beginning of, you know, the attack animations and stuff like that. I assume the way that they could sort of fix this exploit right here would be, like, when you reset the app, like, okay, so, like, we transform with Vegito, then we see where the enemy super attack is. So maybe they could make it to where when you reset the app, the enemy's super attack position is moved. I would assume that's how they could sort of do this. If this became very popular, I assume Dokkan probably would remove this. Like, look at this. The asshole is super attacking at the end. Like, that's always the most difficult right there. It's almost like exactly the final attack he's going to do is the one that's going to take us out. Like, that's why, like, I remember the Legendary Goku event being so frustrating a while back when I was trying to beat it with, like, all the category teams. And I remember, like, you know, the amount of runs that were super... Like, I remember Artificial Life Form, when the Legendary Goku event first came out, was, like, improbable. Like, it was borderline improbable, right? This is before a lot of these insane Artificial Life Form units came out, like, you know, Exchange Boo and stuff like that. I think, like, LR Baby, like, was, like, my greatest chance at beating that. And I did know, did I know? No, I beat it with Artificial Life Form thanks to Baby and his Great Ape transformation sort of clutching it out and saving the day, right? So, you know, there is sort of, I guess, like, a lot of strategy that goes into it with this. Okay, so this actually works out really well, because we're going to be able to get a lot of tech orbs with Ultimate Gohan next turn if we do actually need to, right? Because, again, Ultimate Gohan, like, because, you know, this is, like, one of these long events, you know, this goes on for a while. Like, look, we're at turn 7. Although this team, I would argue, is, like, mostly defensive-based. I mean, the AGL Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta doesn't really do much damage. Tech Khalifa literally doesn't do damage. She'd have to do 100 super attacks before she's even able to hurt IWAN at all. But, you know, you start to get your defense so high that you're beginning to really dramatically heal. I am thinking, too, like, dude, an AGL LR Gohan team would be so easy with this. So, like, maybe, like, AGL LR Gohan, you know, you have Kale and Khalifa, you have Super Vegito, you know, Pikkon, Bardock. Like, you just rock, like, something like that. And, you know, I don't know, even, like, then, like, Tech Khalifa. Like, I feel like that would work, even though you're just basically running, like, you know, a team that's not really getting, like, all the buffs from Gohan. Gohan probably is the best sort of super AGL leader that you can run for this event, right? Just sort of a leader that would give buffs to super AGL. Because obviously you're not going to want to run something like Pan or anything like that. So, okay, so this works out pretty well in that, again, IWAN is not super attacking right here. And Pikkon really is a character who we don't really have to worry about him too much defensively. And especially if he's able to get a lot of those orbs for us, we're good to go, right? Like, Pikkon gets a lot of the orbs for us. And then at that point, like, his defense goes up, he's giving key to the whole rotation, all of that. I think I choose, like, I'm getting close to where it's like, okay, we'll just go ahead and let S0 Super Vegito do his thing. But remember, after he super attacks type neutral, he's taking 45k damage. So I can't just, like, expose Super Vegito to 1,000,000 attacks and then also lose my sort of tactical advantage that we've established at this point, where every single turn I'm just cheesing the super attack scouter effect, right? So again, it's sort of like maintaining that as long as we can, and then you know, towards the end, at that point, I actually can go ahead and transform with one of these Super Vegetos and potentially deal the finishing blow, right? Because again, Super Vegito, he's not like, he's like, I feel like Super Vegito can probably output like the most damage in a turn. Probably can. Because like, I see it where he crits and his counters are doing like 2.5 million damage when he crits. Crit counter. On top of like the crazy damage he'll do with super attacks and stuff like that. So I love that. Like I did that and then I decided, you know what? Actually, I do want him to fuse. I'm a goofy guy. What can I say? So I guess I decided to use Super Vegito here after all and just try and get the extra damage and then try and finish IWAN off very quickly. Because again, he's only got the 4 health bars left. So it's like if we transform with Super Vegito, we transform with Tech Ultimate Gohan here, we potentially could do a lot of extra damage in this short period of time and be able to get the no item run completed, right? The only thing that's unfortunate is that IWAN is not going to attack us before we attack. So Gohan is not going to have his full attack power on this turn, which is going to be very, very unfortunate. Now, we'll see how I choose to go about this. I definitely don't... Do I really leave Super Vegito at the end right there? Oh, boy, this is such... This is a real gamble. Okay, I see... Okay. I guess it's not really a gamble. This looks like terrifying, because, again, he's going to take, like, 45k damage. But we know for sure that I could heal next turn and potentially get the Scouter effect. And again, STR Super Vegito is just going to do millions and millions of damage. Because, like, unlike all these other counter units who don't even really do that much unless they're crit countering a lot of times, STR Vegito is not like that. Even if he does not crit counter, his attacks are doing ridiculous amounts of damage right here. So let's see. Oh, 52k is how much he's taking. But, like, look at this. Okay, so, like, 1.7 per counter. So Vegito just racks up so much damage. Like, there's turns where he could definitely probably, like, out-damage even, like, the Tech LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan with his active skill and passive fulfilled. Like, you know, if you have, like, you know, 10+ attacks from one of these Gods of Destructions, the damage that Vegito is going to be able to output right there is just way, way too much. So now we have the Scouter ability up, and it's like, we're good to go here. I think I could just go ahead and transform to Super Vegito, and we should be able to finish off IWAN on this turn right here. And we can go ahead and put the AGL Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta in slot 2, and he should be able to keep us from dying. And, like, you know, being able to run, like, AGL Super Vegito with this Vegito right here, to where, like, we have basically, like, a full-time Scouter effect on, just makes AGL Super Vegito just so ridiculous at that point, right? It becomes a thing where AGL Super Vegito is just like, he's impervious to damage, and he's doing so much, right? With all of his counters. Well, as long as he's critting, right? Like, of course, we need the crit counters to come in for AGL Super. Like, how much does he do without a crit counter? Yeah, 300k, which, I mean, look at IWAN's health bar. It barely even moves. Like the damage you do with those is, like, almost inconsequential, right? Like, you need the crit counters to really activate. Also, too, remember AGL Super Vegito super attacking does give a super attack buff to the rest of the rotation, which is really helpful for, like, you know, STR Super Vegito doing extra damage from his counters and, you know, various things like that. So there we go. This stage done. Again, with LRUI Goku, this is, you know, easy as hell. You probably could just use, like, an LR Gohan led team and be able to destroy this as well. Like, there's a lot of different strategies I think you could use with this with how strong AGL units are. So thanks, guys, for watching. And I will catch y'all next time. 2 of the 4 stages so far done. No item.